Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the 2018 NFL Draft Class, and specifically production analytics at the defensive end slash pass rusher position. And today's player in question, or prospect we're going to be talking about, is North Carolina State's Bradley Chubb, a guy that many people see as a top 5 to top 10 overall player. So let's see if the production analytics backs it up. Now we're going to be talking about one thing today, and if you're new to the channel, you probably don't know what market share production is. So let me explain before I get into all the data and all the other information. Market share production data is essentially this. You take an individual defensive statistic and you divide it by the team total statistics. So if Bradley Chubb had 10 sacks on a team that had 40 sacks, then Bradley Chubb would have 25% sack market share. But what you do with that number is you take that number, that market share number, and you compare it to every single defensive end performance since the 1989 NFL Draft Class, and boom, you have a way of comparing how every multiple All-Pro defensive end slash pass rusher performed, every Pro Bowl pass rusher, to even long-term starting pass rusher. So it's essentially a way of looking at, okay, these are All-Pro to Pro Bowl defensive end slash edge rushers, and this is how they performed when it came to their production data. So essentially, it's traits. You know, we talk a lot about traits when it comes to film, but it's traits from the perspective of production. It's essentially production traits. Does this guy have all-pro production traits? Does he have Pro Bowl production traits? It's the same thing. It's just that there's actually some substance to it, if you will. There's definitely substance to saying a defensive end has a really great spin move on film, but you don't necessarily have all the information to say that every pass rusher since 1989 had this particular spin move or had this particular thing. Whereas this is a lot more specific and a lot more, there's a lot more stuff backing it up, I guess is the best way to put it when it comes to the data. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get to Bradley Chubb's production and the thresholds within. Bradley Chubb by far is one of the most productive edge rushers in this draft class, on top of playing at a very high-end school. This isn't a guy that played at Georgia State. This is a guy that played at North Carolina State against a fairly tough competition. And how he performed so far, he hit every single threshold you're looking for when it comes to a multiple All-Pro to multiple Pro Bowl pass rusher. When it comes to solo tackle market share data, he hit a 95.18 out of 100, which pretty much hits every single threshold for All-Pro to Pro Bowl. He hit a 91.54 sack market share score and a 98.72 tackle for loss market share score. And as you can clearly see, he hits every single threshold when it comes to solo tackle data, sack data, and tackle for loss data. Everything is what it is when it comes to his profile. So there's really not much else to say at this point when it comes to his production profile. Bradley Chubb is a fantastic player on film. He's a guy that really knows how to use his hands, has great speed, has great size. It's someone that I think when the combine comes around is going to test a lot better than people expect. I know everybody says that, but I really do think that Bradley Chubb is going to test fairly well as a player and should be considered a top 5 to top 10 player in this particular draft class, which shouldn't be that surprising. But the bottom line is, when you look at his production profile and you look at all the other information, it's clear to see why Bradley Chubb is considered to be the top pass rusher in this draft class and why he is someone who definitely is deserving of all the attention and everything else that he's getting right now, because he's just that guy that has everything. We talk about checking all the boxes off. There's a little bit more substance to these boxes, and he's checking them off. So that's Bradley Chubb. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. Hit that notification button so that you're always reminded when another video of mine drops. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.